G'day and welcome to the Ball Boys AFL Fantasy Podcast. Today we're going to be doing a 10-team mock draft, going through with 8 other AFL fantasy analysts, going through our picks and seeing who's going to come out on top. Let's go!
Hodges done it from nowhere. Blasting the goal from inside the 10. Sheed from the boundary. Dusty.
The legend becomes immortal.
G'day and welcome again to the Ball Boys AFL Fantasy Podcast. I'm your host, Mitch Casey, and I'm joined once again by Luke Rogerson, coach of the Oxlongs, but not coach of the classic Oxlongs, coach of Oxlong Draft Edition, because today we're going to be doing a mock draft with, it's a 10-team mock draft with, like we said, 8 other AFL fantasy content creators and analysts out there. So you got the best in the business going up in this one. Unfortunately, in this draft, we do have one team that is an auto drafter at pick 1. So keep that in mind when we go through this draft. But it's captains on, 3 defenders, 4 mids, 3 forwards, 1 ruck, and 4 players on your bench. So we're going to head over into the draft room right now. Let's check it out. On now, we're doing a mock draft today, going through
Oh my goodness.
The top 10. We got a 10-man mock draft here that we are recording today, and we are underway. This is going to be a mock draft with a lot of other fantasy analysts out there, and we are going to be doing a pick where we are doing, what are we doing? A 3 defender, 4 midfielders, 1 ruck, and 3 forwards. So, and also 4 bench. So starting, I've got pick number 4. Luke, you have pick number 8. We're underway. The first pick has gone Tim English to Anthony there, who was an auto pick. Hopefully he's going to rock up at some point. But we will see how we go. Rowan Marshall goes pick 2, which I think is a good pick. I am hoping that Bont goes here and I can pick up McDacos. If Bont does not go here, I don't know what I'm going to do here, Luke. What are your thoughts? Who do you reckon I should pick at pick 4?
Max Gorn would be a spicy pick. What do you think?
Okay,
what do you think about Gorney? You're on the clock now, mate.
I'm on the clock here, so
should I talk to you while you're on the clock and distract you? Or
let me know what are you thinking.
I'll suckle on my juice over here, mate, and I'll let you have a think. Nothing wrong with a bit of dead air.
If we're looking at the ADP data here, Bont is the guy he's got an ADP of 2, but I am actually going to scroll right down the ADP data, and I'm going to go with a Max Gorn selection here.
Spice it up.
I think a lot of people might find this pretty high, but to me, I think he's a comfortable 110 plus. And I think, like we normally see in AFL fantasy years, the midfielders can be a dime a dozen at the top of the draft. So I'm going to lock away my ruck. Okay, coming over to pick 8 with you. Bonds goes immediately after. That was a pretty quick pick there by Jake. Who are you looking at?
How do I pick my players? Just talk me through this.
You're not going to be able to pick anyone there, but as soon as it gets to you, you're going to have a chance to select them. But right now, you're not going to have. Rory Laird goes at Vams. Oh,
Lairdy.
sniping
Bales.
Bales would be fuming with this pick.
What you going to do, Bales?
Throw in chat in the chat there as well. Bales fuming. I wonder if he's already on tilt. If I was Bales, I'd be going the other Adelaide midfielder here in Jordan Dawson. But he goes Brayshaw. Okay, so you've got the pick.
I think that of the guys I'm looking at here, Merritt, Goulden, Oliver, Dawson, I feel as though Dawson's the one I probably like the most, but Merritt could be a decent pick here.
Merritt would be a safe pick, I'd say, but I mean, Jordan Dawson feels pretty safe to me.
Am I worried about the way Dawson finished the year with Crouch there?
I personally am not, but that's your call, mate. It's your call. I don't think he's going to slide to me again, so...
I think I'm going to go Zach Merritt here.
Okay.
I do. I probably like Dawson better as a player, but I think Merritt is just that guy in the Essendon midfield. So, draft as midfielder.
Yeah, there you go.
I've done it. I've made my first pick. You little ripper. Back to suckling on my juice.
We're off and running. So your pick's going to come back around soon. So this is, just to clarify as well, there's going to be a captains on league as well. So we are going to be doing captains. So we are taking that into account. I feel pretty comfortable with Max Gawn as a captain, especially with a decent matchup. But I think you'll also get a decent captain option in round 2 as well, depending on the matchups. You'll be able to get some decent guys underway.
So what are we thinking here at pick 9? What would you be doing?
Jordan Dawson to me is the guy that is sliding. Tom Green is also probably someone you consider, and Errol Goulden. I think in drafts, for the most part, I am pretty much ignoring the early round buys. In Classic is something you want to absolutely take into account because you're going up against the rest of the competition and every little point counts. In this situation, you might lose a week here and there. But I think, I'm just making sure Sports Fry is here. He's going to get autoed. He's going to get autoed Errol Goulden, or who did he get autoed? Clayton Oliver. Oof, maybe I wouldn't have picked that.
Well, man, it could be a winning pick. You never know, mate. You reckon Tom Green might get back to me? Is it on the turn? Did I get that lingo right?
On the turn. There goes Tom Green. I wouldn't have thought. I think that's actually a bit of a slide there for him.
Stato's locked in. Green and Dawson for Stato. Bang, bang. Thank you very much.
Good start there from
done
Stato.
Well.
We'll have to see.
Now, do you think I should be looking here for another midfielder, or do you think I should be looking potentially at a premium defender or?
Well, this is where I would start to look at sort of your tierings and things like that. So, like we sort of discussed in the defender premium tiers in the rankings, I think there's a pretty big gap between Dacos and the next best defender. So, I think there's a clear midfielder.
Oh, I'm on the clock.
Caleb Sarong just went.
What do I do?
I know who I would pick here, but I'm not going to say because I think Fry is here, so he just selected Caleb Sarong. Yeah. So he is here. Everyone seems to be in the building now, so we should be underway. Time ticking away. Sweats going across the brow.
This is what happens when you don't prepare. You come in suckling your juice.
So who did you start with? You started with a Zachy Merritt. So a nice safe pick there. Do you look for a bit of upside here? Top of the board in terms of averages is Errol Goulden.
I think I'm just going to go for another safe midfielder. I don't know if this is the right pick, but
I reckon that's a bit spicy.
I think that's
Christian Petrarca.
Safe-ish midfielder. We'll see how we go.
So you faded. The guy I would have selected there might have been an Errol Goulden. You've gone against him as the highest averaging player from last year?
I'm unsure about that Sydney midfield mix and where he fits into that. We know that he can score points regardless. I 100% understand that. But do you think that if he's playing more exclusively on the wing that potentially,
Yeah, it is an interesting one. Obviously, that was one of the reasons I traded him out of my classic team last year. And that came back to bite me in the ass because he's just a gun player. So I sort of feel okay drafting him pretty early. He just is that good of a player.
Bales was happy to snaffle him after I left him.
Bales didn't wait too long to draft him there. So coming over to me, I'm going to be looking at a midfielder here. I think it's still too early for me to grab another defender. I've got my ruck sorted, so I'm going to have to be loading up on a few gun mids. Some of the ones I'm looking at here, Timmy Taranto, Parrish, who just went. I'm wanting Dunkley to get back to me, I think, here. I think Dunkley's got another gear to go. So I think if he's there, he's going to be my selection.
What about a Rosie?
Connor Rosie does appeal to me.
I think I'd take Rosie before I took Dunkley.
Rosie, I don't know. Have you seen who did you just go? He went Sicily. So Dunkley's Donuts goes Sicily with the second defender on the board. I'm going to go Dunkley because I just feel a little bit better with, there's less movement in the midfield there. And as poor as Dunkley was at the end of last season, you've lost Ashcroft. So not that I think that's going to, move his role around too much, but he's just got that ceiling that I think few of these other players have. Obviously, he scored 172
He did show he had the ceiling, didn't he? Yeah, that's correct.
I don't know. Bit of a point to prove after finals loss.
Fair enough.
I think I'm going to go him as my M1 because I think there's an upside that, look, he has the fantasy game that he could be the number one scoring mid in the game, whereas I don't think Rosie does, even though he is a pretty safe pick there. But two early buy round players for me to start off with.
Yeah, you suck, man.
So I'm going to be having to make sure I get some wins when I do have my full complement of players.
Jack McRae's gone, so locking in a premium forward there.
That's an interesting pick. Where do you think you'd be going forwards?
I think I'd be speculating in the forward line, but I don't have my ass from elbow when it comes to draft. So
Speak with confidence, mate, and we'll all believe you.
If you can't convince them, confuse them.
That's right. I personally think I'd still wait a bit longer. I have no confidence in these drafts now.
Toronto, DC. Timmy T, I mean, everyone was influenced, obviously, by the way he finished the year, but if you get first half of the year Timmy T, that's a winning pick for DC.
He was still really good at the start of the year when Hopper was there.
Yep.
And I think I've got a game here. So in games with Hopper playing a full game, he averaged 105.4. That's probably more where I have him. That 105 to 107 or 8 kind of a zone. And I think at that point there.
And I think that's an M2 for DC, is it? Did he select a...
Let's have
Primo
a look.
off
We
the
can go
board
back
there?
and have a look here.
We
So
can.
DC would have gone with... Where was he? He went with the Royal Marshall. So
Okay,
he's
so it's
gone
an M1.
Marshall and then Toronto. So he's gone with the ruck approach like myself.
When do you think...
I'm going to see if I can get Anthony here because he does not seem to be in the draft. Now, he started with the Tim English and he's gone... I'll just make sure that was a quick selection. I wonder if he's gone on auto. So who did he select there? He went Brad Crouch and Doherty. Probably would have gone someone a little bit different. I reckon Rosie's definitely come into calculations here, as is his teammate Butters for me.
Yep.
But we could also start to get to the point where Jack Sinclair does become enticing.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, as a defender pick, I wouldn't be surprised if Rosie is off the board by the time we get back to you.
Two picks to make to me, yeah.
What I'm nervous about is the rucks. I'm nervous there because
you've missed out on the big dogs.
This is what do I do?
Sam Flanders.
How early do I pull it on like a?
So who would be the next ruck? Brody Grundy.
Grundy, is Briggs in the conversation later? Like, what can he do in his?
So we're
second
drafting
full
some of
year?
these. Say for example, we're drafting some of these midfielders now, which are what do you say, still around that 105 kind of range.
Yeah. Okay. So you kind of. Yeah.
So what do you expect Grundy to be? Like, is he...
He could well be a 105.
So he should probably go fairly soon, I would have thought. I'd say he'd go in this round.
Yeah.
So
Flanders off the board now for DC
not
there.
a bad pick. Flanders, I like that pick for DC.
It's a pick with huge upside.
I actually think I'd draft Flanders over McRae at this stage. I think he's just got a higher ceiling.
Walshy.
Sam Walsh. Okay. All right. Well,
Rosie, or are you going to be
Rosie
tempted
made
by
it back
Sinclair?
to me here.
Good
Jack
luck and a good
Steele.
defender there. Is Tom Stewart off the board if you
Still
want to?
quite a few good mids, but I'm going to have 4 mids here. Ooh, Jack Sinclair or Connor Rosie. I reckon there's a decent blanket in defenders still this year. I feel like there's a lot of 90s guys. So I'm
Some
going
of those Eagles defenders.
I think I'm going to keep going with my midfielders here because, like I said, I started with the ruck, so I'm maybe a mid behind a few of these guys. So, yeah, I'm going to lock in the Connor Rosie sitting there at the top of the draft table there. So, a couple of mids. This is how my team's looking here for those that want to watch along. Let's make sure that we're not covering too much of this. Where's our camera?
Don't make us smaller, mate.
Oh, I'm just get us playing around with it. There we go.
People want to see these good lids.
Just going to see my
tune in to
game
see
there.
the draft.
The Max Gord, Connor Rosie, Dunkley. So Jack Sinclair does go straight after me. So I reckon Brody Grundy's got to come into calculations here soon, surely.
Do you think so? I've got my eye on Butters just because I love the way Butters plays. But do you think that I've already got 2 midfielders? It would be irresponsible for me to go and take a third midfielder, or?
I mean, we're going to need 4 mids. I think.
But there could be
Jack
value to
Steele
be
there
found.
goes. So you're going to have how many picks are you going to have between you and your next pick? So you've got to have 1, 2, 3.
I could get another
4
decent
picks.
midfielder
I think there'd be
on
another
the turn.
decent mid there. Whereas I don't know if Grundy does make it to you. I wouldn't have assumed he makes it back to you there. Oh, and he doesn't make it to you there anyway. Grundy goes off the board.
You prick,
Sniped.
Bales.
He
Sniped,
sniped you.
absolutely sniped. So,
All right, so decisions here.
decisions to be
Look
made.
at the top of the average ranking boards. There's some Bulldogs there, which, a bit older.
You know what? I feel like I want to go a little bit all or nothing here. I want to pick a team that has the ability to win it, and potentially a guy that I see popping is LDU.
Ooh, I don't mind that, to be honest. I don't mind that at all.
So it's either LDU or something in defence, but now that Sinclair's off the board, I don't feel as good about Stewart.
Couple of players at the top of the ADP list are the defenders there, but...
Yeah, I think I'm going to go, Nick Newman. He could be an aggressive pick. I got to do something in 10 seconds.
The clock is winding
I'm going to back
down.
in my boy Luke.
LDU. Okay, LD Useless joins the Oxlongs.
Yeah, Luke, coached by Luke.
Luke coached
Let's
by
go.
Luke. I think that's a solid pick. I think for me, I might have gone a Butters before an LDU, but that's just me. It's pretty close there. And I do think that at the top of the draft here, a lot of the times we get stressed about these first
Is
few
Butters
rounds.
still on the board?
Oh, he just went. Stato picked him up. Did you not see him there,
I didn't
mate?
see him.
Oh,
I didn't
no.
do my research.
Oh, mate.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
Oh, you snooze, you lose.
I would
Stato
have
is-
taken Butters. Stato's not snoozing.
He
No,
is
sir.
picking up at the end of here. So what did he get
Does
at the end
this,
of last drive?
when you say this is a mock draft, do we actually play this league, or does this just like...
Oh, this is cash. There's $50 on this league, mate.
Oh, really? Fuck. Should have done my homework.
It is a mock draft.
So
but
do you just cancel the league after the draft? Is that how it works?
I shall be, unless my team looks really good.
In which case, we're going through, baby.
All right, so Took Miller goes off the board there, and Lockie Whitfield in the defence. So a
Okay.
couple of defenders
Shit,
going.
it's back to me.
It's back to you.
What do I do?
We're moving fast here. 60-second shot clock on the draft here, so that we can get through this nice and quickly.
I'm going aggressive. I'm going Nick Newman.
Nick Newman. Let's have a look at the Mighty Oxongs and how they're sitting right now. So you've got the three midfielders in there. So
Do you reckon I could get a decent ruck when it comes back to me?
I reckon you're looking at punt and rucks at this stage. I'd be waiting a lot.
Okay, Nick Newman. Let's get real aggressive.
We've got some supplies coming up.
Beautiful.
For
Just
the
as I
draft.
ordered. Thank you. Jam donut.
Oh, mate. You're in for the long haul with this.
Yeah.
Give us some ASMR, mate.
Yeah, it's a mukbang.
So you've got Nick Newman. A couple of other defenders on the board there. Were you Hayden Young was still there. Harry Sheasel was on the board. He's interesting. He's falling. Liam Duggan still on the board. So this is what I said about those defenders. I do feel like there are quite a few solid defenders, although there is a bit of a run going now with those defenders. All right, let's go back over to my team.
I think I started the defender run.
Yeah, I think you did with that Newman pick. So Jaden Short goes off the board. Now, Dunkley's Donuts, I believe he drafted a defender last, so he might be looking for a midfielder. But a lot of those big dog mids have gone. So I think I, too, will be looking for a defender here, unless there's someone that I'm completely forgetting who I believe...
Okay, I'm back. Take a pause from my donut.
Jake's winding the clock down. And this is where you start to think about, okay, who's going to maybe pick up DPP and things like that. Let's go over to my notes here. He goes Adam Treloar. I'm happy for him to take that selection. Now, defenders. I want a defender here. Do I go a Harry Sheasel,
No.
Liam Duggan, or who else could I pick? Nazaya. Let's have a look at my defenders. Who have I got projected to be the top available? Give me the bloody thing sorted.
5 seconds. 5.
Shut up. I've got my
I got
time
you
here.
too.
I'm a
I got you too.
Stuart went, didn't he?
I believe Stuart went.
Yeah, okay. I'm
5.
assuming
4,
Sicily
3.
went. I am going to go... I'm going to go with my guy here because I just think
Going
he's
to
a gun.
Sire.
I think he's a gun, and
Okay.
I've got him for the entire year. And come those draft finals, all those Marvel Grounds games at the back half of the year, I don't have
you're
to worry about
thinking-
him, not performing at the start of the season.
You're thinking fixture, mate.
So I'm thinking fixture.
I didn't even realise Butters was still on the board, and you're thinking fixture.
Mate, I'm
Christ.
miles ahead. This is my jam right here.
What's your
I
team?
was deciding between him and Duggan. I didn't know, and if Duggan is there when he comes back, I will select him.
Wish I had a decent ruck, hey. Just looking at your team there, the Max Gorn just fills me with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, well, I'm banking a lot on the fact that I think Max Gorn's going to be a 110 plus and a captain option for me.
And on those weeks where he does give you that huge 140, and I'm going to be sitting there with my pleb, fucking Braden Pruce or something, getting a 60, you'd be like, well,
there you go.
thanks for trying.
Well, you've got some
just
decent
such disparity.
Well, it's going to come around to me
Jesus.
real quick.
Everyone's going off the board here.
I think
Gotta keep
I think
track
Anthony's on that
Cogs, Luke Ryan.
ADP.
Taylor Adams.
Taylor Adams goes, and then Libba and Cogs go with a couple of midfielders.
Okay.
So
You think I should start thinking forwards? You know who I'm going to pick.
I think I'm going to
Dusty.
let. he's honestly looking like one of the more safe picks in the forward
Bro,
line.
he's been training with the midfield. Maybe I should just...
PB's in the gym. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, now that I found out this draft doesn't matter and we're not playing,
Hold on, no, don't.
I'm picking 04 kit.
Don't be throwing the draft. There goes DC with his Caleb Daniel pick. He was someone who he said was
yes.
pretty hot on Caleb Daniel.
I haven't had a pick for ages. Why are you picking again?
Dylan Moore. Mate, it's a snake draft. That's how we do things. All right. I don't know who I'm going to go here. Do I look at another midfielder and get just another solid 100-plus averaging mid? What kind of defenders? Let's have a look at some of the defenders available. Oh, it does kind of fall off a little bit, I think, in the defender department. So I did say Liam Duggan was going to be the guy I selected. Liam Duggan or Harry Sheasel. I feel like Sheasel's a bit more of that risk play. Let's have a look at his finals.
Oh, Anderson.
Oh, look at these last 4 matchups in the finals. Richmond, West Coast. Oh, that might do it for me. Versus the finals matchups for
You
Liam
just told me we're not playing this league. You're sweaty.
Yeah, but this is how, we've got to give people an insight into how we would be selecting some of these guys. I'm going to take an upside swing here, and I will be going, Harry Sheasel, Liam Duggan, Harry Sheasel, Liam Duggan. You got a coin?
Duggan. More role certainty. He's the boss. Sheasel could play forward and give you 60s every week, bro.
I'm going to do the opposite of what you said. And I'm going to go the Shees. I think he's still a gun. I don't know. I think he has a chance of doing a bit of a Nick Dacos.
Is your boy Hayden Young still getting around?
Oh, that's it. Oh, no, he went. I'm pretty sure. I'm
Yeah.
fairly sure. Yeah, he went. I think he went fairly.
Jack Viney's a guy
while
still
ago.
on the board that's averaged well.
Well, what do we think is going to happen with Clayton Oliver? Is he... Because he's going to be very much tied into Viney.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, I think at some point in the season, and I think it's going to be early on, he's going to be back. Lockie Neal, not a bad choice there either. He's a guy
He was one I
has
was
shown
considering. Yes, I was considering him for sure. I probably will need to solidify another mid. I'm going to leave my final defender spot, I think, for a while there because it does flatten out a bit, I think, for defenders. There goes my boy Dylan Moore. How many forwards have gone now?
Should I bite the bullet on the
fifth,
ruck? Who's still available in the ruck?
I think there are a few rucks still left. So
It's my turn. Duggan. I was looking at Duggan.
So Nank is there. Sean Darcy, Briggs, Witts. There's still some
I reckon
decent
I could
options.
get a ruck on the way back. So
I think one of those 3 should make it back to you.
I'm gonna go.
I would have thought. What are we looking at with the
Jai
forwards?
Newcomb's a guy that people are talking about hopping potentially.
Yeah, especially early in the season with Will Day potentially missing some time. You got your boy Jelly still there.
I do love Jelly. How did Jelly go back half of the season when GWS were killing it?
I think outside of that tag where he scored the 30, I think he was okay, solid without being spectacular. I feel like he moved a bit more into a wing, which I expect him to be doing a bit more with... what's that young fella hopping into the midfield? I'm blanking a bit on the young guy. You've got 7 seconds.
I think I am going to go Josh Kelly there.
Josh Kelly?
I'm not very happy with that.
That
completes my midfield.
Yeah, I was going to say, your mids are done now, right? Okay.
I'm getting Dusty on the next one, baby.
Okay. Oh, so you got Dusty over a ruck?
Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm going to go ruck.
Dan Houston goes. Did Liam Duggan go? Yeah, Liam Duggan went right before you. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I would have taken Duggan.
Duggan would have been your pick there if he was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Just gonna say
I was going to be.
a donut.
Ultimate audio podcast here. So Statesman picks up Dusty there. So there goes that decision. Let's have a look at Stato's team because I reckon he is. I mean, he's the draft doctor here. So this is where he cleans up. This is his bread and butter here. He's
Stato had a really good 1-2 punch with his first 2 picks.
Yeah, I am very much loving his team actually.
Team looks great.
With the 2, these guys, easily one of these guys could be the top scorers.
Yep. Viney's a good
Butters
pick there
could be
as well.
up there. Whitfield. I had Whitfield as high as 3 in my defender rankings. So
The mighty Oxlong's going to be back on the
solid
clock.
picks there for Stato. And he does go Viney to round at his midfield. There goes another Richmond
Shea
forward in Shea. So this is where...
Now, do I have a sneaky look at the forwards here?
Do you go forwards or do you go rucks?
I think I have to go rucks. I'm looking at those forwards.
What
And
do the forwards
I
look
can't
like?
see anyone that I think is going to comfortably average. God, those forwards look shit.
Oh, that's pretty gross. That is pretty gross. I'm gonna have to click that. Ignore.
Who's going more here? Darcy Briggs or Nank the Tank? We've got Nank for a bit of a regression this year.
I personally think that Nank's going to regress a bit.
Darcy's got that injury.
Or do you go Briggs?
I kind of like what Briggsy was doing at the back half of last year. I think maybe is
He
a
feels
bit of
safer with his injury than a Darcy because they average 1 point difference.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Briggsy.
Last 5.99. I think I'd probably go there too. I just feel a little bit safer with him. I think.
Briggsy is.
You can always handcuff him with the Bruce later and get
the double
Brucey on the bench.
The what do I call? Do you call your draft team the same as you call your classic? Are these the Mighty Ox songs?
Yeah, I think it's Mighty Ox Songs FC. I don't know.
Righto. God, just looking at Stato's team before and then having a glance down at my team. My team looks like a pile of dog shit
bit of rough.
compared to Stato's.
This is all a good learning experience. And you come away from these kind of things going, okay, what could I have done better? What could I have done? And this is the point of obviously doing this podcast and this video. So you can sort of have a look at whose strategy went where and what you can sort of go, fuck, there goes John Newcomb. I was hoping he was going to make it back to me. Damn, I did want him. Because I am still looking for another mid. I've only got 2 midfielders in there. Toby Green goes. Okay. Oh, geez, it's come up to me very quickly there.
Is Hayden Young still on the board?
No, he went ages ago. I'm pretty certain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are you going,
Who
boss?
have I got here? Oh, I'm scrolling right down. Chair is my next highest ranked player, unless we keep looking. Maybe we do start to look at the forwards. Oh, no.
You're on the clock, boss. 30 seconds.
Oh, I don't like those
I'm
forwards.
going to have another munch.
All right. Adam Chera here. He's got some ceiling. He went those 130s. I do think that's where I'm going to go. Unless Josh Dacos wing. Chad Warner is a guy that I might consider. Oh, actually, you know what? Fuck it. No, I'm going to go with Chad Warner. I'm going to pivot here. Just the change in game style for Carlton just scares me off a little bit with Chera when they started being a little bit more direct. If someone like a Sam Walsh takes that step up that we expect him to do, maybe that hurts someone like a Chera. Powering through that donut over there. So I'm just going with the Chad Warner there. I think he's got a bit upside. And I don't think a Taylor Adams affects him too much, being that more outside burst kind of a type. I think in everything it could actually help him. So we'll see how we go there. I might have to start looking at some forwards now. I do think I'm going to start looking at some forwards. Oh, they're gross though.
I wish I picked this guy.
He started to come into my calculations, but
I got no room.
Yeah, true. You don't have any room
No
in
one
your
can hear
bids.
what I was saying.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You were pointing out the fact that you wanted to go with Carl Amon, potentially. I could fit him into my midfield.
He'd be a lovely little way to round out the midfield.
He'd move to my defence later. But I reckon there might be another guy that I can get later that might do that as well.
Okay. Where are you looking now, boss?
I'm looking at the forwards.
Okay.
I'm looking at the forwards. I've got no forwards yet. I'm going to have to square away one. And I think I like the look of Jeremy Cameron. Because we looked at his average. He averaged 83 last year, but he actually had a -4 built into his average because of an injury. So
I really struggle when it gets down to these players that we've never really talked about in Classic and, making those choices.
Yeah, it is a bit of a different approach. Hugh McCluggage then goes. And obviously, if you are Classic focused, switching over to draft, it does change things a little bit because, again, taking that first forward, you have some of these guys that are those upsidey guys, but they also have a low floor. So whilst it could go well, it could also go really bad. So I do think I'm going to try and square away one of the more proven guys first. Maybe a Heaney just for some solid safety. Heaney or Cameron, I think I like here. Charlie Curnow. Cam Guthrie. Okay. I think I'm going to go Jeremy Cameron because he still gets up the ground. What do we think about Geelong this week? Where do you think Geelong are going to finish on the ladder? Do you think they're going to be better? Some people think they might be worse, about the same.
I'm thinking about the same.
About the same?
I don't really see...
Because that might really affect a player like Jeremy Cameron. I think I'm going to go there, though. I think he's got some upside. He's a good player on a good matchup.
Shawnee Das.
Shawnee Das, there goes.
There.
That's solid value, I reckon, for
I reckon
rucks.
this could start a little scramble for some rucks. I reckon a few of these teams.
Is Nang still there? Surely not. No, Nang's gone. I think there is
How?
Will Powell.
I better start working out what I'm going to do here.
I do like me some Will Powell. Defenders. Let's have a look at your team. Let's have a look at the Mighty Oxlongs. So,
Can I draft Cole Amon on the bench?
I mean, you could. He won't help you much in those first 6 weeks, but if you can eventually move him into the defense, it will help you, but it will be a bit of pain early on. I don't know. I reckon, personally, if I were you, I'd try to square away a bit more of those starters first.
Okay.
And just concede the Amon pick. There's still a few good defenders there. Mason Redman, Lockie Ash, he's a solid player. I like him. Oh, then it dries up pretty quick. Witherden, we talked about as someone who could be forwards benefit. Mitch Hinge, some people really are into. It's on you. You're on the clock. 50 seconds here. Or you could start looking into the forward areas. Forwards or defenders, I think you're looking at here. Probably, what pick are we up to? So pick 69.
Oh, it's a convenient one for you to stop on, mate.
Well, 68 actually, sorry. 68. Newman in defence. Merritt, Petrarca, LDU, Josh Kelly. So this is where I think, I don't know, I'll speak for you, but if you had your time over, maybe instead of that Josh Kelly pick to round out your midfield, going one of those other positions before they dried out. Alex Witherden, I don't mind that pick. I think Witherden's got some upside to crack that 90 this year. You got a couple of guys that did 90s last year, but Mitch Duncan, I don't know, I feel nervous drafting him at this spot.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Lloyd, there goes Carl Amon.
Yeah.
Which I think is a solid pick.
Very solid.
If you had the midfield spot, I probably would have gone there for yourself, but again, sitting on your bench for 6 weeks might not be ideal. Are you starting to look at the forwards? Because it's going to come around to you in a couple of picks' time.
Yeah, I'm going to have to, aren't I? What have I got going on? Let's have a little squizzy.
Let's have a look at the forwards for you.
The Texans there, Schultz had a new club, but don't have much confidence. Your boy Connor McDonald there. You've been high on. Is he classic?
See,
only,
I'm high on him on the classic. Again, we are doing this draft before the preseason games go, and a lot can change for a player like that. You know, it could be a smash pick here.
He's gone now anyway.
Oh, he's gone. There goes Connor McDonald.
Jesse Hogan, the highest individual score last year.
Yeah, what did he get? Like a one? Did he crack 190?
Massive.
Huge score. So, but again, the average of 77 with a 190 in there. Most weeks he was not doing that well. Riley O'Brien in there for the rucks.
Ben Keys is a guy up forward that, with a bit of luck and a role change,
I think
you're banking on a little bit there, aren't you?
Yeah. You still got Heaney there. He's a solid, safe guy that in any role he can score.
He is.
He might be someone.
Schultz coming off a career year at a really good year at Freo. I just don't think the Collingwood game plan is going to be conducive to scoring in that role.
There's a few more options you would think at Collingwood to go there, whereas Schultz was maybe.
What about a Jade Gresham?
Gresham? Yeah. Do we see him?
God, this is disgusting.
Yeah, it really is a bit gross.
I'm going to go for what I know, and I do like Heaney as a player, so let's just lock in a shit forward.
I think personally, as your first forward, getting one of those safer picks is a bit more the way to go.
He's going to be there every week. He's going to be doing his thing.
At least it's just a solid guy that he can be in there, whereas the next two, you maybe shoot for a bit more of those upside, and maybe your bench, you might do some streaming and things like
God, that team sucks.
I don't know. I reckon you're doing all right.
There's some upside there. If LDU pops, if Nick Newman does what he does at the end, maybe. We'll see.
I reckon, Nick Newman, I think you're going to want him to go pretty well. Maybe there goes the Zach Fisher.
I was going to say, that's a...
It's not a bad... It's obviously, we're all a bit scared off in Classic because of the hamstring, but if he, throughout the season, gets going a little bit, and if he does have that role...
Yeah.
Oh, shit, there goes Nick Martin. I was hoping...
That's a good pick. Him going a half back.
I was hoping he was going to make it back to me. That's...
yeah, I noticed you didn't tell me about it, you dog. You prick.
All right, let's have a look at my team. What am I looking for? So
Forwards, mate.
Forwards or another midfielder. I might... There's still some solid mids.
Yeah.
So I might just square away my midfield at this spot.
Board.
Crouch down the bottom here. Lloyd goes... Will Day... Dacos. So Dacos had a 95 last year.
You're on the clock, mate.
I know. Is he someone we expect to do that again, or?
I think I'd look for someone else, to be honest. I think I'd look for someone else to potentially...
Ollie
You're going to go
Wines?
midfield? There's still some good guys there.
Yeah.
I reckon you could go a forward.
What am I going to get?
Go get one of those juicy forwards, mate.
Average. I'm thinking, because I'm pretty sure there's a auto picker there, so he's going to take some of these top guys. Josh Dacos, does he get better than last year? Does he get better?
I don't think so. I think it's probably is what it is. Unless his role changes, but I think they really love that role that he plays.
I'm going to square him away. I like him.
Okay.
I'm going to square away Josh Dacos.
You just want one Dacos at least.
Yeah.
If you can't have Nick.
Can't have Nick. I'll have Josh. Look, he's a winger, and if he scored 95 on a wing, the ever so slight upside that he gets a bit more inside time, maybe he gets up there. But I just want to square away those 95 plus midfielders, and I think the forward line, it is a bit of a crapshoot still. So, I will have a look at them now. Maybe. Do I even look at another defender first? Oh, jeez. Matt Crouch goes.
Crouchy.
He was someone I considered. But I don't feel like, especially in a draft format, you've got him for the entire season, that being locked away in the team for the entire best 22 is a little bit more something.
It's significant, isn't it?
Yeah, there goes the Elliot Yeo pick.
That could be a good pick too.
In a draft. In a draft, it's a little bit more spicy. Obviously, you can't just trade him out.
Yeah, I guess so. But picking him this late as what was that? That's last defender potentially.
Who was that DC's team? Let's have a look at DC's second defender.
Okay. So defenders are getting a little bit light on, but
a little bit of something.
I still don't mind that.
Let's have a look at. So I'm probably going to target another forward here. Oh, it's gross though. Rochelle goes.
Go Joe Danaher, mate.
What do you reckon about... No, I'm not going Joe Danaher. What do you reckon about Jai Caldwell? Does he have an opportunity inside the midfield at...
I think there could be spurts there, but that Essendon midfield there's a decent queue there, isn't there?
Yeah. It's kind of like the top two and then a blanket over the next few guys would be the way that I see it. Fuck, this forward line sucks. Jesus.
Liam Baker could be a guy that in the right role could have massive upside, but...
What do you think about his role? Where do you think it is?
I think I'm more hopeful than anything that he gets locked into some sort of midfield role and sets the world on fire, but...
What about Zorko?
He
averaged 85 last year. There's no...
How many games?
There's no Ashcroft. He played 17.
So, that's a few games that you're going to be without him. And he's only getting older. That's how time works.
It is how time works. What is he? 35. Oh.
How much less did Ben Keys average? 8 less.
Yeah, and I really don't see Ben Keys' role being
even in
favourable.
the podcast with the traders that Lairdy didn't mention Keys as a guy going through the midfield.
I'm going to square away Zorko. It's gross, but...
Everything's gross in the forward line.
It's all gross, that's right. And he's averaged 85 at 34. Look, even if it gets a little bit worse, that would have included a few injury-affected games, I'm sure. So... if I can just plug him in and hopefully get some full games out of him. Oh, I like that Callum Mills pick. Although, I don't know about his role when he does come back with Taylor Adams and James Jordan coming into the team. Some talk about him moving into defence. Coming up to you, mate. Where are you looking?
I've got the last defender spot to fill, and then I've got 2 forward spots to fill. So it gets so stinky in the forward line that I just don't even know whether you bother and just speculate on those fence swinging picks. Do you think I should square off that last defender pick potentially? Who's still available? You got a Bailey Dale, you got a Lockie Ash still on the board there.
Yeah, we are getting to the point where you're sort of you're starting to just search for that upside, take your guy. Like if there's a guy that stands out to you, I don't think there's any.
Ollie Wines for Bales. Did you see the comment come out from Kenny Hinkley?
Yeah, he's a midfielder, inside mid, and he's going to stay at inside mid. That's Kenny Hinkley. He must play AFL Fantasy. I reckon he has to. He speaks the language.
Closet fantasy guy.
He absolutely speaks the language. You still got some decent defenders up top.
I really like Bailey Dale as a player.
Oh, well,
Lockie Ash.
there's a bit of news about Ballydale training forward.
Is there? Okay. Probably stay away from that. Lockie Ash is probably going to give you what he gave you last year. What do you think?
I'd have to think. He's a young, up-and-coming player. There's a chance he pushes that average up.
I can't see too many people there that I think maybe could have the more upside.
Yeah, you're starting to get down a little bit.
I might just go and grab Lockie Ash and square off my defenders there.
Mitch Hinge come into consideration at all? Oh, actually, I do know if a guy's there, I'm going to go, and you're going to pick before me. So I'm going to shut up and not give you my answer.
No, let me know.
No.
Who was it, mate?
Oh, have you finished your defenders?
You're a prick, mate. Is it Andy McGrath? McGrath.
Oh, you finished your defenders. I'm looking at Himmelberg. Harry Himmelberg. I reckon he could definitely be someone, if he gets back to me, that I will select.
Mitch Duncan off the board for Stato there.
I'm not sure if he's going to do that. What's Stato? Is Stato finish his defenders? Sardis. Yeah, so Stato's got his defenders.
Got his forward line. Just needs a ruck.
Stato's
punting
rucks.
rucks.
He's punted the rucks here.
Who's the rucks that are still on the board that he could grab?
I mean, Witts is still
great
there.
Pick. If he could get Witts or Cameron.
Wow, sure. How many teams
got
don't
a
have
legendary
a ruck?
team.
Let's scroll through some of these teams.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have a ruck still? So T-Better doesn't have a ruck. That's the auto team.
Yeah.
So that's
auto team's looking better than my team.
I don't know about that. Bales. He's got Grundy.
I'm on the clock here.
You're on the clock. I'll keep scrolling through some of these
looking
teams. So there are a few teams punting that ruck position. Vams is still looking for a ruck. Fry, he's got Riley O'Brien sitting there. DC, he's got the Rowan Marshall. Dunkley's Donuts has got the Sean Darcy. You've got the Briggsy, and I've got the Maxi Gorn. So there's probably about 3 teams still left with the ruck to select. But that Jared Witts, I do think there's a bit of a drop-off after him. So someone does square him away. The first non-ruck team.
What are we thinking here?
So where are you looking? Are you looking
go
forward
here.
line?
I might go here. Go with potential upside. What do you think?
Oh, a bit of Billings action? I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
I think looking at the stats, I think there is some upside for Billings if he can get on the park, and he's a guy that can score 85, 90. So
what have we had here with
Billings
the bit of
at F2?
Schultz went just before, Sardis, Gresham, Billings. So the forwards are definitely starting to go here. So that does seem to be the consensus with a lot of these players here in terms of the forward run late.
You know what I'm thinking here is I think I went very early on the rucks getting Kieran Briggs, given how late
it does appear that way with
Cameron on the board, because I'd rather have that's 3 rounds ago. Yeah. I'd rather have almost Witts than Briggs, and I could have got him.
It would have been maybe 5 points difference.
Yes.
I do expect maybe Witts to just being a bit older, maybe take a slight step back, but he'd still be close to 90. I would have thought.
Do you think that will be a consensus in a lot of drafts, or do you think that sometimes in some drafts there'll be a mad scramble where everyone just gets the rucks, and then? Or do you think that could be, the top 2 or 3 rucks go, and then everyone kind of just settles?
I see the top 3 as being a big step above. Then you've probably got your Brodie Grundy. Yes. Depending on how high you think. If you think he's 105, I still think that's maybe sort of like...
Oh, I'm on here. Am I?
No, it's me.
You're on, sorry.
I'm going to be looking for... My guy did make it back to me, actually, which I'm very happy about.
The Berg.
Going to lock in the Berg. Where is he?
Just search him, mate.
Fuck. Did someone
Maybe
get him?
Someone took him.
No, he's there. I'll go with Harry Himmelberg. I think that's a pretty solid pick late with my final defender. And then I've got a forward to round out my starters. So we'll have a look at some of the forwards. I don't want Adelaide Crows only. But yeah, I think that's where that tier drafting strategy comes into place, when you can identify there's a gap, but then there's a clump of guys. Yep. So like your Briggs, Darcy, probably Toby Nankervis.
Yep.
Like those 3 guys are all kind of in the same kind of tier. I mean, I still think that obviously there's more upside with the Briggs than there is at Witts, but...
What do you think the big Texan's going to do this year in an Adelaide team that we expect to continue to improve?
He's 33 years old. I mean, he's played so well these last few seasons.
He's like a fine wine.
I keep expecting the drop-off to come any minute, and it just hasn't yet. But yeah, I mean, maybe he keeps it going. At this point now, though,
Luke Parker's
there goes Witts. So that's that's the auto pick team anyway. Oh, there goes Colby McKercher. Actually, you know what? This is where I'm looking at.
You're going to go Rooks?
I'm looking at a Harley Reid here if he comes back to me.
Yeah, okay. What do you expect him to
If he is
average?
actually playing that halfback role as my final forward spot, I think he outperforms a lot of these other guys.
I think it's been mentioned that he won't play all the games, or insinuated.
That he might be rested, but
you're not wrong. In that halfback role, he could do what a Sheasel.
Yeah, exactly. And with the forward line that we're dealing with here, if he goes like, the forwards at the moment are averaging, the guys at the top are averaging 75. Like, he does that pretty comfortably.
I think so too.
There goes the Tristan Sherry, who, again, another ruck at the top. So he's gone ahead of Witts, which I actually backed.
Oh, didn't Witts go? I think it was Cameron that didn't
Witts
go.
did go. Witts, yeah, okay. So I think the rucks are pretty much at the bottom of the basement now. So this is, I'm pretty confident with going to Harley Reid here to be my last pick, because this is where we start to go, we can stream some of these guys. So on a good matchup, we put in someone from our bench. So this is where I will actually, because I'm not confident in the forward line, I'll probably get at least a couple of forwards on my bench.
Okay, then.
Because I want to maybe play those matchups. And anytime someone comes up against the Eagles or up against North Melbourne, I can plug them in and maybe take a Dane Zorko who's done his hammy out or something like that. So... or a Jeremy Cameron.
Foreshadowing it straight
away. Look at my
away.
forward line. I've got bloody 30-year-olds here and then the 18-year-old and Harley Reid there. Dichotomy of different ages. So coming up to you, what have we got here for the Oxloms?
I've got to pick my last forward, I think, actually. Yeah, I do. I'm still without a forward on field, so...
who
I wouldn't even mind backing in the Big Texan. Like I said, fine wine, and I expect Adelaide to be, if he gets around to me... And like he'll take him.
Bales will take him for sure.
Bales will take him. He's the top forward. He's a Crows man.
Yeah, I think if he makes
he's going to take the
probably got to go.
Because like he's a guy you can stream. Like,
you plug him into those. If he's chasing that Coleman medal,
we went with Hinge. We went with an Adelaide player. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna lock away Tex, and like I said, you can get him on a good matchup, and he could give you 140.
Yeah, definitely. And that's a little bit more. Like, you could feel confident in, benching him some weeks, starting him some weeks, and playing those matchups.
There, I think.
Like I said, I don't know if it's true or not, but I have heard reports that he is training in the forwards.
What's Stato going to do here with the double? What do we reckon? Let's check out Stato's team. I'm loving the way it's coming together.
He goes his ruck.
Yeah. See, I reckon that's great. He's got an elite team, and he's got a ruck that's going to give you 80 every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He probably could have even left it. So he's filled his team. He's the first one to go into the bench options.
Matty Rowell on the bench.
I like that Matty Rowell pick on the bench.
Yeah, great pick there.
I wonder how he's going to fit into Dimmer's system, though. I heard talks about Matty Rowell that his focus on this off-season was finding a bit more of that outside game.
Okay.
And if that does come to fruition, then I do think he obviously has a lot of upside as the player who led the league, I believe, in tackles last year. But then again, Dimmer's system has not typically rewarded too much outside play for the midfielders. Jordan De Goey goes on to the Oxloms. So we're into our bench now. So I guess free range.
Speculate a little.
We can go a little bit wild. We're hunting upside here.
Bailey Smith is the highest ADP player at the moment.
Oh, I've been ignored, so he's not on my list. But yeah, that's not.
That's interesting. I've put myself on the clock here, and I got no idea where I'm going.
Who do we have? Ooh. There's a couple guys still here.
Nick Vlostone.
Bit of Tiger action.
Bit of Tiger action. If I got 15 seconds and I can't see anything, I may as well get a bit of Tiger action going, eh? Yeah, let's just do it. Otherwise, I'll run out of time.
Lock it in. All right, you didn't go my guy, which is good.
Who are we after?
I'm having a look at Bailey Scott as a guy who has that similar to like a Carl Amon and who's the other player that I'm thinking of? Nick Martin, as a guy who looks to potentially have that defender role in a North Melbourne. We know that can be a pretty juicy role. So he's a guy that I'm hoping comes back to me.
What do we think about a guy like Ben Hobbs? We know that he can score if he gets
I love
that
Hobbs.
role.
I love Hobbs. I think I saw something that he got. Oh, fuck you, Vamps. He's sniped me like several times this draft.
Oh, mate, he must be good at it.
But I did hear that Hobbs, I think he did a bit of an injury, I want to say. Fuck, now it's up to me. Jesus. Oh, I wanted that Hobbs.
What do you think Riley Sanders does in his first year?
Riley Sanders. Yeah. It's a lot because I don't expect him to be a DPP if he stays mid.
Yeah, okay.
He's someone we'll definitely draft.
Josh Ward is still on the board.
He's the guy that I am definitely looking at now as an upside pick. I think
George Wardlaw's still on the board. If you want another upside guy.
Ooh. Yeah, I could go a bit of Wardlaw action.
See, I'm helping you draft,
Simpkin.
mate. You wouldn't help me. You bastard.
Ed Richards.
20 seconds.
Shit. Okay.
Go Wardlaw, bro. We love watching him play.
I'm going to go where I've lost him now. I'm going
Ward or Wardlaw. Go Wardlaw. We love watching Wardlaw play.
I'm going to go the Josh Ward pick. Just a little bit worried about Wardlaw's time on ground but I could have gone
in
there.
This fake league that we're not going to play. God. I can't get around this talking like this is going to happen.
We got a draft give the people a good insight of what we're doing. So Josh Ward, upside pick, and this is we're taking flyers here. If you've got maybe a risky player on your team, like I do have a Zorko, I probably do another forward here because I expect Zorko to miss some time. So I'll probably look there with my next pick. Maybe, like I said, one of those guys that can... Ooh, Finn Callahan's not a bad option. One of those guys that can pop if everything kind of goes their way. Ooh. What about the Humper?
Yeah, he's still on the board.
Or James Harms?
Has Wardlaw gone yet? Did he go? I'm picking Wardlaw before the Humper. He hasn't gone yet. Yeah, he could get back to you, mate.
I just need that. I need that forward.
Yeah.
Or do I hold off it again? Is there anyone in the forward line that I really want? Jesus Christ. Zach Bailey?
What about a big key forward that you could stream on any given week? Is that a thing?
Like a Joe Danaher, Ryan Myers, Jesse Hogan. Oh, it's rough. I think I might wait on the key forward and just keep searching on some upside. Fuck, I really don't know where I'm going to go here. This is going to be a panic pick. This is a panic pick.
Go Wardlaw then.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. All right, you're talking me into it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have done that, but he's an upside pick. He could go big. He could be one of those guys that really pops in his second year. But I'm 100% going to need to get a forward in my next. I'm going to have to get some forward bench options. Because that midfield is, I've got 6 midfielders. It's a bit overkill. But we'll see. Who are you looking at coming up to your pick in a couple of times? Jordan Ridley goes. That's value on Jordan Ridley, surely. Andy McGrath. See, there's still some good defenders options. The defenders bat pretty deep. Like Callum Wilkie, who averaged 87 last year, he's still there.
Aggression, but
Rioli, Ed Richards, he's got upside. Trent Rivers, some people saying he's going into the midfield. Connor Buderick, who's the next Jaden Short, Basher Hooley.
So does this tell us, just from a drafting perspectives, does this tell us you can leave those defenders a bit later and focus on other areas?
I do think that once you get past sort of the top 10 to 15 defenders, there is a decent blanket over them. Just because the role in most teams, the role's cushy, Marcus Windhager's still there, like he's a good upside pick.
I might go because he's DPP as well, isn't he?
I think he's mid defender.
Yeah, I might go Windhager with that upside. I think he's going to be a tagger, but I can't get over that giving him Spud's number, so I think he's locked in their plans.
Yeah, I don't mind that pick, especially at this point where we're just going upside, and if everything does come together for him.
We can cover 2 lines as well.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the DPP is useful.
So I might try and put away... 2 forwards with these next 2
there
picks.
Goes
and
Trent Rivers.
Do you pick a ruck or do you not pick a ruck on your bench? What's the go?
Oh, how durable's your ruck? What's your ruck? You got
Briggsy.
You got Briggsy.
He is like a tank.
So who are you picking, though, of these rucks? Look at these ruck options.
Sweetie.
Like, Sweetie?
Yeah, boy,
The Big O?
Is he... No, Sweet's not... Is there a DPP ruck that'll be playing? Could cover forward.
Nah.
Samson Ryan, you little ripper.
To the boys.
The Oxongs. I'm on the clock.
Cox.
All positions.
You got the
forwards.
best keeper league ruck in the thing there, and Sammy Draper still available if that's something that tickles your fancy there.
I should pick Jesse Hogan, eh?
Jordan Sweet could be an option.
But it would be nice. Yeah, it would be nice if he had that DPP.
Mate, you just got to snag away Prusy on that last pick and just then you handcuff and you're all good, mate. Prusy comes in, averages 90 when Briggs goes down.
So true. So true. Is Prusy got DPP?
Nah, I wouldn't have thought. You ever seen that man play forward?
What should we do?
What have we got? What have we got here?
What we've got is nothing in the forward line. I'm going to pick Jesse Hogan.
Mate, when you got 180s, 190s as
Let's
a ceiling,
go.
Let's go, man. I reckon
He'll give me that every week, won't
that's not a bad pick.
180 and he's only averaging
for
70.
2 weeks of the year, just chuck him in there.
Bro, GWS are going to the top and he's...
Mate, first 2 rounds. You got West Coast. Bro,
I'm a genius.
you're a drafter.
Correct.
That's a quick little early start. Then you drop him after his bye and done.
Bro,
I actually rate that
juice
pick.
and a jam donut and I'm ready to rock.
I rate that pick very much so. All right, I'm going to have to put in some forwards here. What about an Aaron Norton?
Naughty.
Or Hawkins? Oh, it's gross. It is gross.
This podcast's almost gone for an hour. Surely people are still not listening.
No. We've got some dedicated listeners here. If you are listening, actually, if you're over on YouTube, drop in the comments and let us know. Let's give you a little...
I wouldn't even want to listen to myself do this for an hour.
This is good. This is good stuff. Let us know in the comments section.
But you know I will.
Yeah, absolutely. Drop a Braden Pruce in the comment section if you're still listening at 56 minutes. Drop your juicy Prusies in the comments. I want to see 20 juicy Prusies
There's gonna be bagels,
in the
mate.
comments if you guys are still
Crickets
listening.
in the comments.
You know who I actually really like, and he's going to be there in the next pick. I really like Logan McDonald as a key forward. It's fantasy, maybe not so much, but I think he's got something about him in terms of like that streaming kind of no Buddy here. You always say that Sydney played better without Buddy. He could be on the back end of that.
I don't always say that. I say there's occasions.
What about your boy Lipinski?
Just so you can sing the song, or
La la Lipinski. Yeah, absolutely.
Get a bit of Papley about you, mate. You love Papley.
Oh, gross. Is there anyone here that could... actually, hold on. No, I've heard some good things about this man, Ben Ainsworth. I think he finished last 586.
All right. Is that your Gold Coast source, mate?
That's my Gold Coast source,
mate. You reckon Dimmer likes him?
Yeah, I've heard he gets up the ground, maybe a bit of a wing roll, potentially.
Okay. He could be Ainsworth Wild as a pick. Nice.
We can't hear that with our headphones turned down, but those are crickets, mate. Now, here's the question. Do I go another forward just to really throw something? Like,
you need a defender.
Like a Harry Mackay?
You need a defender, mate. Like, how are you going to cover your defenders? What's going on?
Yeah, maybe I do need a defender. Is there any decent ones left?
But maybe you could, you could grab a defender off the scrap heap, couldn't you? Look at all these guys.
Yeah,
you could grab any of these guys
here,
off
actually.
the
a
scrap
lot
heap.
of good
Yeah, you don't need to pick. But Budrick's still there. Rioli.
I'll probably square one away.
Does
what
this
about Isaac coming?
Question for the one person that might still be listening?
Yes.
When you see this and you see all these decent defenders on the scrap heap, does that mean that you play around with your defenders week to week and find a guy with a good matchup, or do you?
Maybe if you've got a guy that you don't mind dropping, you obviously
true,
and that would dictate your draft. So that's where you might leave a defender spot till the very end, so that you can do that. You haven't invested much capital in them, and you bolstered other positions, so that it does seem like especially with
Bailey Smith gone for the early return.
Oh dear. Yeah. So apologies for the one auto drafter here, but we do have 9 other really solid draftees in the room here. So hopefully it does give us at least. So maybe if there wasn't. Although, let's have a look at the
DC's
auto
taken
draft
Rioli
settings.
with his last pick, and he's back on the
So,
clock
yeah.
now.
So, for example, the auto draft has not selected a single defender. So, the defense in this pool might be a little bit
stacked.
Yeah, a little bit more stacked than normal. So, probably
that
when
makes
you're
sense
watching
then.
this, just keep that in mind, that the defenders probably look a bit better than they should at this point in the draft.
Okay.
Which is, again, a little disappointing, but I still think it'll give you a decent idea.
It's all imaginary, mate. It's all Fugazi.
Full Fugazi. All right,
not
T-Better. I think I'm going to go Ed Richards here if he is available. Hopefully he is available. Do not take him, T-Better. Do not take him. Do not take him. Give me the Ed Richards. How about this, James Trezise with the 1 game average of 77. Jason Horn-Francis.
The Hornbag.
Can't get around that. Anyone else that I've completely forgotten about? I don't think so. Oh, is that coming? I don't think much changes there. All right, no, let's go the Ed Richards.
Big
And
Eddie.
Just, bit upside. If that rumour is true that Dale is moving to the forward line, he might command a bit more of a market share down back there.
Especially if Caleb Daniel gets a bit of midfield time, he could be the boss down there.
Yeah, so he could be the main kick-in guy. So yeah, let's go there. So that's my team done. We'll flick over to the Mighty Oxlongs.
The Mighty Oxlongs, how they're shaping up.
Last pick will go, and I'll just shift our little faces over there so we can have a look at our teams when it comes to the wrap-up. Yep,
you got it.
And see how we go. So anyone you're eyeing off as a late round last pick flyer?
I got a couple of people in mind, but I'm not going to reveal them to you, mate.
Oh, I'm done, mate. Although I'll be on that waiver wire just like straight into it.
Straight that rookie. Well, tell everyone about what you did with Harry Sheasel last year in our draft league.
I don't want to relive this story. My last pick in our draft in the Bald Boys listener league draft, I had the Harry Sheasel. Last pick, nailed it. Won the draft because of it, but I had Prusy as my ruck, and obviously didn't get named round 1. So instead of dropping Pruse, which I should have done, I dropped Harry Sheasel to pick up another ruckman to play that round 1, thinking that Pruse was just going to be around the corner and I didn't want to miss out on that. And someone's picked him up after, and this was, I think, before... Yeah, so he came out in that round 1, absolutely smashed it, and then I was not the highest waiver wire priority, so I didn't get to pick him up, and... Yeah,
And
that's how I dropped.
that draft league,
I still
think,
won it,
didn't
so
you?
obviously that's how good I am.
Oscar
but,
McInerney Bale's gone back up ruck there. Okay,
ruck.
my turn to pick the last player.
Juicy Prusy!
Rounding out the Oxlongs.
It's Forkhead.
It's your boy, Forkhead. Let's go.
Get him in
Get him
there.
on the screen, bro. Let the people see the Forkhead.
Where is he? Oh, here he is. Oscar Fork. I can't click on him, but the big
go.
Oscar Forkhead, just for memes. Would you have gone Pruse there if this was a real draft?
No,
No, you would.
I would have gone Forkhead.
just
team,
Forkhead in
bro. What you're missing is team morale.
there. Team morale.
That's what you're missing. You need
Someone to pick on. For
you
the
need a
rest of the boys.
Forkhead around the club.
You need a Forkhead.
Just a larrikin.
Larrikin.
And he's going to be that one for the draft Oxlongs. So.
Absolutely. Well, he fits the name. So let's go through. We'll go through maybe each of the teams and I guess who we like, who we don't like. Start off with with my team here. What's up? What do you want to do?
No, you're good.
So this is my team here. There we go. Well, there is my team there.
Oh,
actually.
bang.
Actually, didn't realize it was going to do that. So I will
Let's just
move that camera over real quick. Square that one away. So this is how the Mitchman boys worked out. So first pick went the Max Gorn. Didn't love it. And I'll say this, if I had a choice...
Are we going to analyse this whole team right now?
Well, just to wrap it up, if I had a choice of my draft pick, I probably would go anywhere but number 4 because I feel like I probably could have got Max Gorn later in the first round. I do think some of those mids would have gone off the board.
So you would have preferred him to be your first pick, but at a later pick.
If I had a choice of my draft pick, I'd want a top 3 or the last 3, I think is where I'd prefer to go. Like if you had Statesman on the back end there, you go bang, bang, Jordan Dawson, Tom Green.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good spot to be in.
Very good, yeah.
Max Gorn, then Dunkley, Rosie, Nazaya. Any picks that I regret? I think they were all pretty solid. I was umming and ahhing in the Chad Warner pick. Maybe I could have gone a bit more forwards there. But the forward line, I do like that I got Harley Reid there. A couple of old blokes. But overall, I think pretty solid. not too many risks, I would say. Anything that you absolutely hate of my team?
Oh, mate, that's a good team. I want to see Stato's team because I reckon it was shaping up real nice.
Oh, we'll throw out a Statesman's team, who is the draft doctor. He is the man when it comes to draft. So he's gone bang, bang. Jordan Dawson, Tom Green.
Butters, great.
Butters,
I can't believe I didn't pick Butters.
And Whitfield was a great selection, I think, as well.
Why the fuck did I pick LDU over Butters?
Dusty, the next pick, I think he went. And then Connor McDonald. Yeah, I think he's done pretty well there, to be honest. Yeah, pretty like that team. Let's throw it over to the Oxlongs. What did you talk us through your strategy and any regrets or anything there from your squad? Was it the Josh Kelly or the LDU instead of a Butters?
Well, the strategy was non-existent.
Learnings?
The LDU instead of the Butters, just have a little bit of a closer look. Because I think, for me, I feel like Butters is a safer bet. But, I mean, LDU is a guy that could pop. So
yeah, I mean, it's not... I mean, yeah.
A little bit in this particular league at what I would do differently is I wouldn't draft Briggs so early because there were so many good options. Like, I mean, Darcy Cameron and Jared Witts went quite late, so I probably could have got...
Cherry went late as well. 2
other decent picks before I went Briggsy, but I was a little bit panicked there on how thin the rucks might get. So, yeah, in this imaginary league that we'll never play, I'm happy to take some good learnings out of it.
There you go. So let us know down in the comments, guys. What did you think of our teams? Did you learn anything that you should not do when it comes to your fantasy draft? It is always good just to have a look at these ones and sort of get some strategy and always remember to pick a forkhead to match your team at the end of the draft. Let us know down in the comments section if you enjoyed this type of content, if you want to see any more. Don't know if we'll get any time to do any more this preseason, but maybe in future seasons we might give it a bit more of a crack. But if you enjoyed that one, guys, please make sure you go down and give this video a big thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube and a 5-star rating on podcasts on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys listen. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we will be giving you some more awesome content for Fantasy Classic coming your way. We've got some special guests still coming on to continue our community content catch-ups, so stay tuned for more of those, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!